Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cookall. And as always, it is my honor, my pleasure, my privilege to be able to come today, share some tips and some tools that I know that will assist you in becoming a better you. That's right. This podcast is all about that reset button. That means that no matter where you are in your life, how many mistakes you've made or how many poor choices you have made, you can always start all over again. That's right. Take a look at yourself and look in that mirror and say, guess what? That's right. You can start all over again. One of the worst mistakes that we do make is that we don't believe it. We don't believe it. If we don't believe it, then we can't achieve it. If we don't say it, then we cannot obtain it. So we need to make sure that we know that we deserve to start all over again, refresh, a new beginning, second chance, sometime a third, fourth chance. But you deserve it, little sister, little brother. You deserve it. You deserve that today. You deserve to give yourself a second, third, fourth, fifth chance. Whatever it is, you deserve it. God's grace is sufficient for you. And so because of his grace, we get an opportunity to say, yes, I've made a mistake. Yes, I've been an alcoholic for 20 years. Yes, I've been an addict for 15 years, but I am ready. I am so ready to start my life from this point on. And there's no need for you to keep yourself in punishment for what you've done in the past. Come on, somebody. I want you to get up and live today and declare that for yourself, that what has happened in the past is in the past. It no longer has control over me. One of the things that I do emphasize in the teachings that I share with you guys and others is that one of our mistakes is that we tell ourselves the notion of, I make my bed, I'm going to lie in it. And we kind of keep ourselves in a bondage and in a prison with that type of thinking. And yes, you could have made 1,000 mistakes. We all make mistakes and poor choices, but that does not mean that you're held hostage by that choice or by that mistake. That is one of the worst things that you can do to yourself, is put yourself in a prison of your own mistakes. Okay, whom the Son has set free is free indeed. So God, if he set you free, his son Jesus set you free, then you're free. If you accepted him, you are free. You do not have to live under a bondage of your past mistakes. And I think what we do is we just constantly tell ourselves, well, this is just the way it is. This is the life that I've created and built for myself. So this is it. I must bear this cross alone and be sad and, feel defeated. But that's not the life that you have to live. That's a life that you're choosing to live. No matter how many mistakes has happened around you, no matter what words were spoken to you or about you, even from those that you love, those that you cared about, those that you are to trust, they might have been the ones that spoken, negativity and doubt and hurt and pain into your life. You don't even have to be submissive to that. No matter how many times it's been said to you, no matter how many years you've heard it, you do not have to be a prisoner to those words. You do not have to be a prisoner to that hurt, to that pain. Someone has betrayed you and hurt you. Someone has taken advantage of you. Someone has stolen your childhood, or made you feel less of a woman or less of a man or less of a child, less of a person based upon their actions. Okay. That's something that was done to you, but it does not define you, which means that you no longer have to be a victim to whatever happened to you. You can always switch it up and become the victorious person that you are. And how can you say I'm victorious? You might ask. I can say that you're victorious because you're still here. You're still here. And you might say, but you don't understand the state that I am in. You don't know how low I am. You don't understand the pain that I'm in. And I'm saying to you, it does not matter. because you're still here. That pain didn't break you. That pain didn't destroy you. That pain didn't wipe you off this earth. You are still here. And because you are still here, you are more than equipped to get up and take charge and take the victory stands that you deserve. You're not only a survivor, but you are a conqueror. Come on, somebody. You're not just a survivor, you are a conqueror. We say that word survivor a lot. I personally am not a fan of that word because it kind of still makes you feel as if you were and is a victim. But I like to use the word conqueror because although something has happened to me or around me, I have taken the position of victory. So somebody today need to take that position of victory. So much has happened, but you are victorious. Your story is unique. Your pain is not unique, but your story is unique. And what I mean is that so many people have shared that same thing. Okay, they have shared some of the same things that you've gone through, just a different person. Okay, just a different person. But you are unique in the fact that you have the victory and that you can take a stand and that you can help somebody else. Okay, you can help somebody else with your story and with the pain that you've been through and that the pain that you're going through. It's a process. So I'm so glad to be able to share with you guys today. I got caught up in the very beginning of this podcast, as I always do, because I get very excited about sharing with you guys. I'm very empathetic to the pain that I'm seeing, pain that I'm hearing, and experiencing in regards to the many challenges that we are facing as a society and, as I like to say, a community. So I'm very empathetic to that, and I just want to constantly encourage you guys to let you know and remind you that you can handle it and that you are conquerors, that you're here for a reason. It's not a mistake. It is not a mistake that you are still here. It is not a mistake that you're still standing. It is not a mistake that you took the time to hear this podcast today. This is not a mistake. Do not think that, I just happened to run across this podcast. No. Trust me when I tell you there is something that you need to hear in this podcast today. So I want you to pay close attention and get out of it what you need to get out of it. Before we go on to talk on our topics today, I want to remind you guys to go and support this podcast by looking at some of the books that is published. We have Faith versus Fear, Breaking Family Ties. We have The Crowd. The book, This Journey is a Process, is no longer available on Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble, but I will be very, very soon reproducing that book for you. That was one of the first books that I did publish, and it was so impactful that I definitely want to make that available to you in the near future. So go to Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and check out Faith versus Fear or Breaking Family Ties. If you're interested in the book, The Crowd, that is available only on Amazon.com. You can follow me on any social media platform, Michelle Cook Hall. On Twitter, it is Michelle C. Hall, and if it's Instagram, also it's Michelle C. Hall. So go ahead and follow me, and even on Amazon you can follow my page, and then you'll see all the new books that come up on Amazon.com under my title and under my name. So listen, let's get started. And I thought to myself, wow, what can I do today? What can I share with you today? I always try to be very relevant to what we're going through, what we're experiencing, what I'm seeing, what I might experience that I feel like you can relate to. I always try to do that. So what is it that I want to talk about today? So I really want to talk about proclamation. I want to talk about declaring, decreeing. This is very, 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 very powerful. Very powerful. And this is a chapter out of my book, Breaking Family Ties. So listen very clearly. I have talked about this before, But as always, we emphasize a little bit more every time we share something. We add a little bit more to it, right? So I want to talk about proclamation. Let's talk about proclamation today, which is declaring, decreeing. We're going to talk about the power in proclamation, okay? Now, the dictionary describes proclamation as the act of saying something in a public, official, or definite way. The act of proclaiming something is an official statement or announcement made by a person in power or by government, okay? So it's a definite way. It's a definite way to say something. Proclamation. It's like I declare, I decree, proclamation. These are words that are very, very powerful. Okay? What we say, we decree, we declare. That's your proclamation. Whatever you say, whatever you open your mouth and say, that is your decree. You have the authority. Okay, proclamation is someone giving something that has some form of authority. You have an authority over your life, over the things that you are responsible for. So you can speak life, healing, use positivity to a situation or event, or yourself, or your family members, or friends, or whatever. You can do that. You can stand up and declare this, that over a situation. And in the same way, you can repeatedly, which we often do, proclaim something negative, something that is over and over again, repeating, I don't feel good, I'm sick, I'm going through. If it's not one thing, it's another. We can do this over and over and over again. This is never going to change. This is never going to get better. This is never going to improve. We can do this over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's your proclamation. That's your decree. That's what you're declaring. We don't know that we're doing that sometimes, but that's what we are doing. And then we are so baffled when we get the results of what we have put out into the atmosphere. We are so mind boggled as to what has happened. Why is all these things happening in my life? Why is all this going on? Because you have opened your mouth and you have proclaimed, declared, decreed doom and gloom, sadness, hard times for yourself. You go into a situation you want it to work, but your mouth said, I'm sure they won't give me that loan. I'm sure I'm going to get another disappointment. I'm sure I'm going to get another rejection letter. I'm going to go to this job interview, but I'm not qualified. So I'm sure I'm not going to get a call. I'm sure they're not going to want to hire me. I'm sure I'm not going to get this home. I want this home. I need this home, but I'm sure I'm not going to get it. Well, you've declared it. You've decreed it. You've already set in stone what you are expecting. Do you hear what I'm saying? You've already set into the atmosphere what you want. See, your mind might say, I really, really would like to have it. But what have you said? Is your mind and your faith lining up with your words? Or is your mind saying one thing, your faith saying one thing, your words saying something else? This is powerful. Hear me today. Hear me today. It is very powerful to say words and then have them come to pass. And these are words that you didn't want, but you're saying them. Sometimes I have said this before. We are saying things out of habit, out of tradition, out of whatever. But this is not what you want. You're supposed to speak the thing that you want. Even if it's not there, if you don't see it, you speak a thing into existence. Right? Come on. That's how our faith works. Like, I don't see it. I hope for it. I want it, but I don't see it, but I'm going to speak it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. I don't see it, but I want it. I want it. Look, in James 3:11, it says this. It proposes a question. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? Let me say that again. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? Come on. Can it? No, it can't. It can't. But that's how our words are lining up. We say what we want in our minds, but out of our mouth, we're saying something else. I really, really, really want this to work. But then out your mouth, as soon as you approach it, you say, I'm sure this is not going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. You have to open up your mouth. It has to line up with your faith. Let it line up with your faith. I don't see it. I mean, it's nowhere in my visual. I can't touch it. It's not tangible, but my faith says I can have it. Come on, somebody. We need to rejoice with that today. It says that we can have it. We can have it. Even in the midst of what we're going through right now, there's a pandemic and all these different challenges that we're facing. And it's all these different things keep coming up. Come on, somebody. Somebody need to say, look, I can't feel it. It's not tangible. I can't see it. It's not visual, but my faith says we can have it. Come on. We need this today. We need this today. We need to write that down. Come on. We need to write that down. That's a good one for you to keep and go back and remind yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and begin to encourage yourself and say, look, my eyes can't see it. It's not in my visual. Come on, somebody. My eyes can't see it. It's not in my visual. Come on. But I believe it. I believe it. My faith says I can have it. It's not in my reach. It's not tangible. But my faith says I can have it. And guess what? I'm going to have it. I'm going to get it. It's mine. I don't care how long it's been held up. I don't care how long I've been wanting it and desiring it in my heart, but yet haven't spoken. But today I'm going to speak it. Today I'm going to declare it. Today I'm going to decree it. It is mine. It shall be mine. It shall become tangible. It shall become visual. Somebody need to just give God the glory for that today. That's a good word for you. To open up your mouth and begin to decree and declare over your life, over your family, over your health. Begin to decree and declare over your finances. Look, I can't see it. I can't feel it, but it's going to happen. My faith says I can have it. My faith says something totally different than what I can see, totally different than what I can feel. My faith says it's mine. Somebody needs to be encouraged today. Somebody needs to be encouraged today. Hallelujah. Somebody needs to be encouraged today to know that you can have it. Open your mouth and say, I can have it. Open your mouth and say, I can have it. It's mine. It is mine. It is mine. I'm not going to speak myself out of it. I'm getting ready to speak myself into it. I'm getting ready to walk into it because it's mine. Somebody need to stop holding up their own blessing, blaming everybody else. Begin to open up your mouth and release your own blessing. You don't have to worry about other people talking you out of things because you're too busy talking your own self out of something. Somebody need to say, it is mine. It is mine. Everything that God has promised me, it's mine. I shall have the freedom of not feeling depressed and oppressed and anxiety and panic and feeling overwhelmed and racing thoughts. Come on, declare and decree. I'm going to be free. I am free. Come on. I don't feel it, but my faith says I can have it. I will be free. Come on, you've tried everything. You tried everything, medications and all kind of different rituals that get you calm and peace and everything else. You've tried everything. Come on, try speaking today. Try putting that into practice, because what we know is that what we practice is what we perfect. We know that to be truth. Whatever we practice, we are going to perfect. So let's begin to practice that. Let's begin to practice opening up our mouth and speaking truth, speaking our freedom, speaking our healing, speaking our health, speaking our strength, speaking our joy, speaking our peace, speaking our love. Come on, let's begin to walk into our freedom. I don't care what the world is showing you. I don't care what the world is telling you. I want you to know that you are free, that your mind is free. Your body, sometimes people are incarcerated and their bodies are not free. But your mind can be free. Your mind can be free. So be free today and speak those things that are not as though they are. Declare and decree today, I'm free. Don't allow your circumstances or your situations or your past mistakes to keep you in bondage. Now, one more day. Open up your mouth and stop saying, I can't make it. Don't tell yourself, I can't take another day. Don't tell yourself, I can't take another moment. Don't tell yourself that I can't handle anything else. Don't tell yourself that, but tell yourself and open your mouth and say, I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. Tell yourself that I can make it, that I can handle it, that if I am here, I can handle it. If he created me and he allowed this to come into my life, I can handle it. Oh, you might say, but you don't get it. My body don't feel like it can handle it. My mind doesn't feel like it can take anything else. You might say you just don't get it. And I'm telling you, listen, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it feels like. I've always declared this. I say this, I believe God. And I want you to do that today. I want you to open up your mouth and just declare, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it feels like. It might not be in my what? In my eye view, my visual. It might not be in my what reach, my tangible, but what? My faith says I can have it. Come on, somebody. My faith says I can have it. If I can get t-shirts, I would, and put that on there. I would put that on a t-shirt. That's good stuff. I can have it because my faith says that I can have it. And so, listen, as always, you all know I do not keep you long. I try to give you just something that will put something on your mind to make you think for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Like think over and over again. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can handle this. Yes, I can get up from where I am. And let me tell you something about getting up from where you are. Don't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes we get up and we stagger a little bit. We slip a little bit. We might feel like we're going more backwards than forwards. But get up. Don't let that deter you from your pressing and your purpose and your pursuit. Don't allow that stumbling, that staggering, that difficulty of getting up from where you are to keep you from moving forward. You can do it. I believe in you. I'm encouraging you. I am standing with you and standing in the gap for you. I believe that whatever God has called you to, you will fulfill that. And so I just want to thank you guys as usual for taking the time out to even listen to this podcast. We are available on Pandora. We're also available on iHeartRadio, and we're also available on Spotify. I did not want to keep you very long because I want to continue this particular topic at a later date. So maybe later on this week, or maybe next week, the beginning of next week, I will definitely continue this. So I want to keep a little room so that you will want to come back and you will want to hear more about declaring and decreeing the power of that. I have showed you all many times before. If you go back to the other podcasts, you will hear me talk about the power of our words and how powerful it is and how we often use it in a negative way, which proves how powerful it is, because we find ourselves in such awful positions and situations and a mindset. But if we were to take that same thinking, right, that same persistent in speaking in a positive way and thinking in a positive way versus the negative, then we can get the same results, but in the positive way. So we need to take a look at what we're doing. I believe in us always looking at things from a certain perspective. And if you don't believe anything, it just makes common sense that if you have been speaking negative and thinking negative, or thinking yourself into this corner or this prison, then, and you've seen yourself, the results of you doing this, you've seen yourself be depressed and oppressed and feeling down and feeling overwhelmed and feeling stressed and overthinking. You've seen the results of that. Then understand what opposite and positive effects, which is if you're doing the negative and getting those effects, if I do the total opposite in a repetitive manner, just as I have in the negative, then what do you think you're going to get? You're going to change your life. You're going to change your life. And I think that it is so much easier for us to go into the negative pattern of just speaking negative, declaring negative. And we oftentimes are not noticing that we're doing it because it's just a habit. But this is an awful, 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 dangerous habit that needs to stop. We need to pay attention to what we're saying. We need to pay attention to what we are declaring and what we're decreeing over our own lives and over our family lives, our children's lives. We need to make sure that we're speaking life and hope and just and love and grace and mercy over ourselves, over our children, over our families, and not speaking doom and gloom and cursing. And when I say curse, you're setting them up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure by the words that you're saying. I'm not going to say to my child that you never turn out to be anything. I'm not going to say, you're not smart and that, I don't see you going anywhere. Come on, I'm not going to curse them. I'm not going to curse them. And that's what we do. So you have to be so careful with your words. You said it to your children. You said to yourself, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not strong enough. Oh my God, how many times have you heard yourself say that? I'm not strong enough. I can't handle this. Come on. And then you're teaching yourself that. You are teaching yourself that you're not strong enough. You're teaching yourself that you can't handle it and that you can't make it. And this is not facts. This is not facts. But it can become your fact if you keep repeating this to yourself and teaching yourself this. So listen, I want us to come back to this topic. I want to leave some room so you guys can be excited to come back and talk about it some more. I want you to leave me some questions. I want you to leave me some comments so that I can look at them and address these topics and concerns when I come back on. I don't do live as much anymore because of the quality of the sound that I'm getting when I do live. But I really did enjoy doing live with you guys. It was really fun for me. The interacting with you guys right there on the spot, but it just did not sound very well. So if I can improve that at some point, we can find something that's, it's not going to give that sound, then we will probably one day go back to that. But as for now, I just depend on you guys to leave your comments, your questions, and your concerns so that we can address it on the next podcast. God bless you guys. Have an outstanding day. You have been listening to Renewed Mind Revolution Podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. And as always, it is my honor and my pleasure. Please remember that I love you. But most importantly, God loves you more. Have a great day, you guys. Bye-bye.